Okay, hello, welcome. My name is Lyle Benjamin. I am the founder and executive director of Planned Acts of Kindness, and today we're going to go through our programs for an overview and orientation. If you do not have your screen set up for video, please do so, okay? And you can put it on mute when you're not speaking. That would be great. So we'll get started in just a minute. It seems like everyone is not on video. And we still have a couple more people joining. Okay, so again, please go ahead and get your videos working and put yourself on mute. Just a little bit of housekeeping here. Okay, so again, my name is Lyle Benjamin. For those of you coming in late, I am the founder and executive director of Planned Acts of Kindness. And we're going to be going through an orientation and overview about our programs and our internship mentorship program. And before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and have, not everyone, since we have a good group today, just a few of you go through and say what your name is, say what school you're going to, and what course of study you're doing. In the meantime, everyone can go into the chat, okay, and put in that information in the chat. So you want to put in your name, you want to put in what school you're going to, what your course of study is. Also, you can add in your phone number and your email, okay? And one last thing, what is the, when do you want to do your internship? I assume most people are prepared to go ahead and start this coming December, which is like sometime later on this month. If that's the case, raise your hand. If you're interested in summer, right, then that's not a problem. Please go ahead and put that as well. And if you are interested in summer, also let us know if you have availability also during the break, where you can go ahead and learn some things and get acclimated during that time. So add in your name, what school, what your major is, when you're going to get started, and then also what your contact information is. And we have some latecomers coming in, so I might get a little repetitious, okay? but instead of me going ahead and explaining it again, why don't we have some people just go ahead and introduce themselves. Everybody's on video, that's great. So I can go ahead and see. So who'd like to go ahead and introduce themselves? Not everybody all at once.
I can
I
go.
can. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead.
No. Oh, okay. My name is Jiawei Fu, and I'm currently studying in Pratt Institute and interior design.
Okay, yeah. Great. And we really like your cat in the background.
Thank you. Her name is Mumu.
Very good. She stole the show. Okay. You get extra points for having a cat in the video. All right. Excellent. And very attentive and two different color eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She's looking at the screen. She's looking at your face.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all right. I've got a cat here too. So, yeah. But he's about 3 times the size of yours. So, not a problem. Okay, and we still have some people joining late. So, right, I appreciate you all coming in promptly. All right, who else? The gentleman who was going to speak, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pavin Podi. I'm currently a junior at the University of California, Davis, up in Northern California. So it's near Sacramento. And my field of study is economics, and I'm also minoring in sociology.
Great, great. And if you haven't already been to our website and figured out, right, that our programs are based in psychology and sociology, well, right, you will find that out once you go through them. So welcome. Okay. Who else would like to go ahead and share?
Sure. Hi, my name is Xi, and you can call me Xia. I'm currently a business administration major with management information system and finance concentration in university at Buffalo.
Okay, so it's starting to get cold up there, huh?
Yeah, it's snowing right now.
Okay, that's good. We have a lot of people from Buffalo and upstate go ahead and participate in our programs. And those are all areas, obviously, that we deal with not only on a national basis, but also on a global basis. So welcome. Okay, anyone else?
I can go ahead. My name is Alia. I'm studying at NYU. I'm doing accounting with some marketing electives, but I'm currently located in California.
Okay. So are you going back to NYU in the next semester, or are you going to go ahead and do remote still?
I'm still doing remote.
Okay. Yeah, New York is pretty much, we're in Manhattan here. So like over the summer, we would have had 25 full-time students from around the country and internationally in our office, and it was completely shut down, and it's still shut down. So we're going to have a lot of people doing remote internships, hopefully not for just the foreseeable future, but you know, it'll be a hybrid moving forward. And by the summer, we're looking at maybe having some normalcy come back to our lives with, you know, the implementation of 3 different companies having vaccines. So by that time, we all should be a little bit more safer. And that's what we're hoping for. Okay, very good. And anyone else? A couple more
Yeah, I could.
before we get started. Sure, go ahead.
So my name is Josh. I currently go to Hofstra University. I am a sophomore and I study information systems and business analytics.
Okay, very good. Hofstra is a very beautiful campus in Long Island.
It's very nice, yeah.
Yeah, even if you can't go there, you can look at pictures. Anyone else?
I'll go. I am a freshman at the University of Virginia, but I'm from upstate New York. And I plan on studying business, and I'm interested in an internship this December.
Okay. And one of the things that you want to do when you're speaking to a group that may or may not know you is you want to introduce yourself first. So,
Oh, sorry. My name's Olivia. Sorry about that.
that's right. Hi, Olivia. That's why you're here. Okay. To go ahead and learn these things, right? And get practice. Okay. So, you know, as we have a picture here with no person on it. If everyone saw that, who is, if you don't have your videos, Priyanchi, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, right? Akil, right? Please go ahead and do. Okay, so what we see is that we have a great deal of diversity. You know, you are at different levels of your education, you're at different fields, you're in different parts of the country, you come from different backgrounds. And that's absolutely great. Planned Acts of Kindness is a global social responsibility platform, and we go ahead and work in over 20 different disciplines. And they're broken into different main areas, such as business, and that includes business marketing, management, public relations, things like IT, which will include web development, app development, front-end, back-end analytics, database management, communications, which involves everything from speaking, writing, journalism, visual communications, to graphic design, and visual communication, which can include everything from illustration to animation, and we also do video and video production, things like this. So we go into many, many different areas. And what makes our programs different is that not only do you get real world experience where your work is going to be used on a national and global level, but we add in 8 foundation disciplines that everyone needs in order to really move from worker status to management and leadership. And the 8 foundation disciplines are communication, business, marketing, management, office technology, research, problem solving, and time management. And you have to know how to use these skills collectively, collaboratively. And unfortunately, our educational system doesn't teach them that way. So the thing is that we all know how to be great students, but what we do is we follow a task lists to go ahead and do our assignments. And oftentimes those assignments don't have a lot to do with how the real world functions. So this is a mentorship program. Not only will we be, it's Friday afternoon. Not only will we give you, like I said, the real world opportunities to work on programs that are going to be going out to shareholders and stakeholders, but we're going to go ahead and teach you how to do objectives in order to do your work. So for many of the projects that you're going to be working on, you're not going to be given a task list to do. You're going to be given an objective. You're going to have to research what you need to do in order to achieve that objective. You're going to have to apply creative and critical thinking to the information. You're going to have to come up with an outline of what you're going to do in order to achieve that objective. And then you're going to have to do project management on it. You're going to have to learn how to problem solve, and you're going to have to learn how to do this in a timely manner, which is also used in the real world, not what you're given in terms of deadlines in school. Because when I ask students, whether you're undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate, how long is it going to take you to go ahead and accomplish this aspect of what you're working on? I get responses like 2 weeks, 7 days, 3 days. And then when we start to break it down in terms of what they're actually doing, they say, oh, okay, yeah, I can see where that can take me 4 hours to do, 5 hours, 6 hours. And in the real world, if you're a professional, it might only take you 1.5 hours to 2 hours to do that same work. So you have to know these things when you get out in the real world. Because even if you did your work tremendously well, but it took you twice as long to do it, the company's going to realize that. And those of you who are not in accounting or economics, right, will very quickly realize that the company will say, why are we paying you twice as much money as we should be? Okay, so these are real concerns that I hear from other employers and companies and nonprofits that we deal with in terms of when they get recent graduates into their programs, some of the obstacles that they have to overcome. So you're gonna get very familiar with what's really going on in the real world when you do the internship. And another different aspect is that when you do your work in school, you turn it in, you get a grade, and you get a little bit of feedback. And that work, like I said, may or may not have anything to do with how the real world operates as well, because they're going ahead and looking at a very narrow slice. We're looking at how your objective fits into the overall objectives of the organization or the programs that you're working on. And you have to know these things if you're going to do your work really well. And you might have to revise your work 2, 3, 4, 5 times in order to get it up to what we consider to be professional industry objectives. We don't do work for literally 80–90% of the population who's going to look at something and say, oh yeah, that's good. We do it for the 10% who are in the industry that really know what they're doing, that are going to look at it, analyze it, and say, oh yeah, that's good. Does everyone see the difference in what I'm talking about? If you did, give me a hand raise. Okay. Everybody following so far? It makes sense? Okay. So the thing is that the programs that you're going to work on are dependent on what we're doing at the time. And what will happen is when you complete the orientation here, you're going to go to our website and there'll be some steps that you'll go ahead and follow. And depending on when you're going to start, as it gets closer to your starting time, that's when you're going to have an individual meeting with me. And I will go over your background in detail and find out what your objectives are. And then you will go ahead and work on programs that help you meet and achieve your objectives. So it's custom. So for instance, one year we had 5 master's students in global finance from Fordham University, and all 5 worked on different things. And when you work on projects, you won't work on just one project. You'll work on several, because that's how you're going to learn how to compartmentalize, not multitask. And you're going to also apply time management to what you're doing. The more things you can get exposed to, the more opportunity you have to put your skills to use and to master the 8 foundation disciplines. And the thing is that many of us have chosen majors that we really don't know a lot about in terms of how they operate in the real world. And unfortunately, the statistic is 75% of us who graduate 3 to 5 years later won't be working in the industry that we studied. Has anyone heard that statistic before? If you have, some of you have, Let's see, keep it up, please, so I can see. Okay, about 50% of you, right, have heard that. Okay, well, the thing is, right, we go to school and it costs us a heck of a lot of time and energy and money. And some of us decide to stay in professions that we no longer decide are suitable for us because of that. Others decide to get out while they can and embark on something different. I'm one of the 75%, okay? I went to law school because I wanted to help people. And I got into law school and I was like, whoa, wait a second. Nobody's in it for that same reason, okay? And so I didn't even like my friends. All right. And, you know, I grew up in Florida, went to University of Florida for my undergraduate and graduate. And then I did my internship with the Attorney General's Office in the Litigation Bureau in Albany, New York, one of the best positions in the country. And I wrote memorandums of law on public health and other issues. And they liked what I did and they offered me a job. And I said, oh, I'm very flattered. And then I went back and I proceeded to leave the profession because I realized it wasn't suitable for me. But the thing is that I had already started to learn those foundation skills on my own through also work that I've been doing since I was 11 years old. So the thing is that when I go into different professions, it's very easy for me to go ahead and learn what I need to learn in order to be successful. And I've done startups in different fields that have been successful. And Planned Acts is my second MPO. And the thing is that the more you can get exposed to, the more you can see what you're interested in so that you can make choices. And you can make those choices because you have the foundation skills where you can move into a different area and then you have the ability to learn what you need to learn in order to be successful. If you don't have the confidence in your abilities, you're never going to take advantage of opportunities that come your way. And our goal is not to go ahead and educate the next generation of workers. Workers are not going to solve the global social issues that we confront. We need to start educating managers and leaders who have the ability and who have the aptitude and the vision to change things on a local, national, and global level. I didn't want to say the world because I didn't want to go ahead and, you know, you guys are going to be starting to think like, yeah, that's not me. I don't think I can do that. But the truth of the matter is that you can. And some of you are going to need to, because the problems that you're inheriting that you did nothing to cause are going to affect quality of life on this planet for billions of people and not in a positive way. So more and more people need to step up and be the next Greta Thunberg. But they need to have the skills to start working in collaboration with the institutions in order to get things done. And that's how Planned Acts is set up. So we work with 5 groups of people. We work with students, employees, owners, retirees, and the unemployed. And we do it in conjunction with 5 different types of institutions: schools, religious organizations, nonprofits and NGOs, which are non-governmental organizations for those of you, right, who don't go outside the United States, governments and government agencies, and businesses. And all of the programs that you'll be working on go back into these categories in order to have impact. Okay? So let me go ahead and share a screen for a second, and then we're going to get into some specifics. Okay, so everyone can see this pretty well? Yes? Okay. So the thing is that we have many different initiatives that by the time that you're coming in, either later this month or January, or even over the summer, you might have the opportunity to work on. We call them, when we do outreach and engagement, we call them Be the Hero campaigns for quality of life for all. And we do books in a lot of different areas, including sustainability, and as you can see, right, mental health, safety, climate change, leadership. We were working on a book with the United Nations on mental health. Unfortunately, right, all our book projects for 2020 got postponed because of, you can fill in the blank, right? Number 3 on the list here. So you might be working on one of our book projects, and your field might not have anything to do with writing. It might have to do with business. It might have to do with graphic design. It might have to do with IT. It might have to do with, right, you know, a whole host of other things. But still, you might be working on the book or things related to the book. And when you successfully complete your internship and you do things like this, your name would actually appear in the acknowledgement section in the book. And what that means is that when you go on interviews, you're going to be armed with things that differentiate yourself from literally thousands and thousands and thousands of other applicants that have graduated with the same degree in this, you know, in the same year that you have, or in previous years that are now unemployed because of what's going on in the world and in this country. And we'll get into some of the tangible things that you get in just a little bit. We are also launching in January SIRUM, which is Social Institutional Reform and Equality Month. And then in this month, let me go ahead and minimize this for a sec. This is our calendar of activities for January of 2021, when SIRUM is kicking off 2021, the year of One Planet, One People. So I spoke about collaboration before, and this is how we're going to go ahead and launch those initiatives. So we have course programs that we're doing on Sunday. We have television that we're doing with interviews on Monday. We have institutional related programs that we're doing on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're dealing with things like inequalities, like race, wealth, wellness, gender issues. Thursday is all about business, money, internships, career track programs. Friday are our volunteer engagement programs that are suitable for people around the world. And that's Friday. And then Saturday is our One Planet, One People social responsibility clubs. So this is our agenda for January. And depending on, you know, when you're starting, there may be aspects that you'll be working on. So we're going to have people from those 5 institutions participating in these programs as experts. And then these programs will be open to people all over the world, right? Through obviously, you know, the internet and social media engagement. Okay, so you can see the scope of what we're working on. We also have 3 initiatives that we're doing for COVID-19. If you looked at the background behind me, you see a couple of those. One is a book that I've written called Legacy Lifelines Memorial Edition. And we've pledged to go ahead and give this book to every family in the world that lost a loved one due to COVID-19. And what it does is allow a family to go ahead and sort of document the life of their loved one, not only through events and activities and likes and dislikes, but also through stories and photos, and create a keepsake that can keep their you know, the joy and the love of that person's life alive for themselves, their family, and their future generations. So that's one aspect. Also in January, we're launching COVID-19 Memorial Day, which is a day of remembrance and celebration of loved ones lost. And we'll have people from around the world, you know, contributing to that. And then I just created an app, which is our C19 safety app, which we're going to be providing to schools and universities, religious organizations, government agencies and NPOs, and businesses absolutely free. And it's a way for people to go ahead and track what they're doing so that they can stay safe and get in the habit of doing the right thing. And then there's recognition, and there can be recognition and rewards for people who stay obviously COVID-19 free. Okay, so those are some of the initiatives that we're doing. Other things are more, you know, outreach and engagement on kind of like a fun aspect. And what we're doing is also, we have initiatives that go into those institutions that are based on climate change, pollution, overpopulation, pandemics, war, and terrorism in terms of collaboration programs, but also educational and action programs. Everything that we do is based on the formula E plus A equals O. Education plus action equals objectives. I went to law school. I took contracts in law school. I did not learn how to write a contract till I was out of law school. To me, that's not a good system of education. And I'm sure many of you, when you get into the real world, will experience similar things, that you're going to be asked to do things, right, that you weren't trained in during your time, you know, in the educational process. That's going to go ahead and set you back. We're going to make sure that you have the ability to go ahead and not only get some of the training that you need, but also to learn very quickly so that you can get up to speed when there is something that you don't know. Okay? So the thing is that when you come into our program, you're going to go ahead and when you successfully do our program, you're going to go and get resume review and correction. And it's very different from what your career resource centers do. They look at it through a couple of different filters, and actually I'm the one who analyzes your resume, and I do it from an employer's perspective by applying critical thinking to what you've put down for your abilities, plus writing and design. Okay, so if you looked on our website under the internship page, you'll see an example of a master's student's resume that I marked up with corrections, and it's not a very pretty sight. I'm not saying your resume is going to need that much red ink to correct, but very often it needs quite a bit. And the thing is that if you're going into certain fields today, what happens is HR is instructed that if you have mistakes in your resume, they're going to move you to the bottom of the list. Because if you don't have the attention to detail to correct actually one of the most important pieces of paper you're going to get from your education, just as important as your diploma, more important as your diploma, because that's your entry into the business world. Well, how are you going to do the work that they're going to require of you? So the thing is, your resume is your calling card, and it needs to be professionally done. things that people pay literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to have done. So you're going to get your letter, your resume reviewed. You're also going to get a letter of recommendation that ties into the work that you do. Because anyone can put anything on their resume in terms of having, right, expertise in it. Just because you had a class in a certain subject doesn't mean you know that information. There were times when I've asked students who I know what their background is, I know what their major, I know what they studied, right? Didn't you learn this stuff that we're talking about right now? And they say, oh yeah, but that was like several semesters ago, I forgot it all already. Okay, that's not where you want to be, right? If they're talking to you about your work during an interview, right? So the thing is that we go ahead and put in what you accomplished in your letter of recommendation. That's called independent verification. Employers love that it doesn't come from a university, right, or academic setting, because that's not the business that they're in. So this is affirmation that you can actually do the work that you say in your resume. Third, you're going to get portfolio development. Now, if you're in graphic design or writing, right, or some type of film production or video or theater production, you know that you've got to have a portfolio. But if you're in business or IT or other fields, you need one as well, even if 99% of your peers aren't doing it. You want to show that your work was actually used in the real world. And whenever possible, we're going to make it quantifiable. That you started here, you went to here, and this is the progress that you made, right, during the subsequent periods. That's what employers want to see. Okay, so we're going to help you with portfolio development. And if you're an international student, right, we do OPT, CPT, and STEM OPT as well. So those are also available. Okay, now, in terms of what we're looking for in the people that we bring in, there are 4 characteristics that we look for in the people that are successful in our program. And they're not skills, they're characteristics. Okay, so 1, you've got to have desire to be affiliated with an organization that's interested in helping people. If you're not interested in helping other people in some form, we're going to go ahead and know that by your commitment to what we're doing, and it's not going to work out really well. You have to be interested in what our missions are. 2, go ahead and stop the share. 2, you have to have determination. You know, we all know how to be good students. We've been trained for 12, 16, 18, 20, 24 years on this. And it's easy to go ahead and do what we know how to do. It's hard to do what you don't know how to do. And we're going to ask you to do things, and we're going to train you to do things that you don't know how to do. How to look at things differently from an objective-driven standpoint. How to use the 8 foundation skills in unison to achieve those objectives. How to go ahead and work in teams. How to go ahead and do management. How to evaluate not only your own work, but also other people's work, and then talk about it properly. How to properly revise your work. How to properly do project management. So the thing is, when it's difficult, you've got to have determination. And many of you are not going to be used to having your work critiqued in the way that we go ahead and do it. But when you go through the program, you'll see tremendous changes in the quality of your work so that you can lay out your work and you can say, gosh, I went from here to here to here, and I see the difference. One of the students was in animation one summer, and I wrote a script, gave him a video project to do, an animation project to do. And over the course of the summer, he filled up 2 complete notebooks with revisions that he had to do in order to complete this animation project. He brought it back to his school. They said it was the best animated project that's ever been done in the history of the school. He did not show them the 2 notebooks with all the revisions that he had to do. If I would have given him the scope of everything at the beginning, he never would have been able to go ahead and do it successfully. What you're going to go through is a process where you build on the foundations, and then it gets more and more complex as you go along and start mastering things. And then you can see the progression. So what's important, yes, is not just the end result, it's the process that you go through and the learning that takes place from iteration to iteration of what you're doing. Does everyone understand that? And that's fundamentally different from how we do it in school. Okay? So you've got to have desire, determination, and that willingness to learn. Okay? And that willingness to learn is also translated in following, right, procedures, understanding that there are things that you've got to do in order to be successful that are different from how you might be doing them today. And getting into the habit of being successful. Okay. Then the thing is, you've got to take action on what you learn. Everything we do is designed to be used in the real world. Okay. So we're not going to give you any busy work to do. There's nothing unimportant about what you're doing. Okay. We have the Peace Corps signed up as one of our partners. Actually, we're signed up with them because they like our programs. Okay. We're used by other NGOs in other countries for the quality of our programs. We have been accepted by everyone from, like, NYU, right, to Columbia, University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, MIT, to schools, right, all the way out to California, Florida, right, because of our programs. But what makes it different is that you've got to go ahead and take action on what you learn so that you can see the results of what you've done and make a difference. And that's the goal, is to go ahead and give you the opportunity to make a difference in the world, not just to go ahead and do assignments. Okay? And in this way, you get to build your skills and your confidence so that you realize that no matter what you want to do, you'll have the opportunity to obtain it through desire, through determination, and that willingness to learn. Okay? So that's how our programs are run. That's how they're different. In terms of what you'll actually be doing, that's what I'll cover during our one-on-one meetings. Okay, when it gets closer to the time that you're going to start. If you're going to start in summer and you want to volunteer and you want to work on programs like Serum or books or games or web apps or whatever, you're welcome to do that. Okay, I'm going to give you some next steps to go ahead and do. And when you do these, you'll be completing some information online or through our app. And then we'll know also, more information about you and your background and how to proceed. So the next step is going to be that you should go back to our website, plannedax.org, and you'll see that there are banners underneath it. One of them is called Get the App. It's pretty big letters, okay? You're going to see that there is a QR code when you click on the button. You want to scan the QR code into your Android or Apple phone, and it will give you access to our new Planned Acts app. And there you can go through a lot of the programs in depth so you can see what they're about. Okay. You can also go into the internship section and get more information. You can then also use the contact us or some of the forms that are present in the app to let us know what you're interested in doing in terms of whether you want to start in December, whether you want to volunteer in December, whether you want to start in the summer, what's your preference, okay? The ones who are going to be coming in earlier are the ones who are going to be able to go ahead and we will follow up with, and then we'll make a calendar invite where we'll do a Zoom meeting, and it'll just be a one-on-one where, like I said, we'll talk about your background and what your goals are, and then how we can customize the internship for you based upon your background and objectives. Okay, so let me get just really quickly, let me change this view, a show of hands. Who's interested in doing summer? Raise your hand. Okay, so not a lot of people, which is fine. Okay, and who's interested in starting in December? Go ahead and next semester, raise your hand. Okay, great. So December people, by all means, right, jump on stuff, right, get in touch, right? I think you were talking to On previously. You can get back in touch with her. You can get a schedule calendar invite, and we'll do a one-on-one, and then we'll go ahead and proceed from there. We'll set up your schedule. And over breaks, what happens is people put in more time. When semesters start, then they go ahead and reduce their hours. And the internship program is available not only during normal business hours, but evenings and weekends as well. So it gives you more opportunity to go ahead and have it coincide with your classwork, as opposed to pushing aside one or the other. Okay, so if anyone wants to ask, we're going to wrap it up, okay? But if anyone wants to ask a quick question or two, not about what they're going to be doing, because obviously we don't know yet until we speak. But if you have any questions about the organization, the programs, my cat, go ahead and ask. Everybody good?
I have a question. So if I get in this program, how long is this program now?
Okay, programs range anywhere from 4 months up to, we've had people in the program for 2 years. So it's flexible depending on you. You determine how long you want to go ahead and be in the program. The longer you're in the program, the better off you're going to be for your future. We've had people who did the program before they graduated, left the program, and then came back, did another mentorship, and then used that to help get a job. So it's flexible, okay? But the minimum number of hours per week is 15 to 20. Okay, over summer, normally our internships are full-time. Okay, and they can be remote. And we have procedures for handling everything when you're remote. You'll get operational guides, handbooks, right, that you'll go ahead and review. You'll get access to our Google Drive. You'll get access to Slack, which was just bought by, I forget who bought it for some ungodly billions, like $5 billion, but that's our professional communications system. And there'll be new software and technology that all of you will be using, just like you had to learn Zoom, right? You know, when you started the transition from in-class learning to remote learning. So the more things you can master, the better off you are. Okay. So you'll have great opportunities to do that, so that when you go in and you talk to companies and they say, have you ever used? Yes, I did. I'm familiar with that. Or no, I haven't, but I used an analogous program, right? So I can learn what you're talking about very quickly. And when they ask you questions, you'll understand concepts and you'll be able to relate those. Okay. This is all designed to make you really professional in what you're doing, both on a skill and communication basis. Okay. Sorry, I tend to give long answers.
Actually, I have one more question. So if I get
Oh,
in,
wait. Before you ask that question,
yeah,
when you first started to ask your question, did you say you had one question?
I have one more question.
Oh, should we let her do it? Who thinks we should let her do it? Come on, raise your hand. Teamwork, right? Okay, everybody. No, we got some people don't think you should be going ahead and asking that second question. But go ahead, by all means.
If I get in this program, so who did I work with? I work with other intern or?
It depends on what your field is. So there's, whenever possible, we have you go ahead and work individually and in teams. And the thing is that you're also going to go ahead and practice management and leadership, which is part of communication and business. So the thing is, once you learn something, you might be asked to turn around and share what you learned with other people, even though you won't be working with those other people. Okay? Just like sometimes when you haven't done self-evaluation on your work, we're going to ask you to present your work, right, to your fellow interns, and they're going to be asked to evaluate your work, because you need to know how to go ahead and work within teams, work with coworkers, work in meetings, present to management, as well as possibly to clients and other stakeholders. So all of that is going to be present, even if you think that it's not present in your field. Guess what? It is, you just don't know it yet. Okay?
Okay,
So,
thank you.
you're welcome. That's why he said it's going to be challenging. Okay. Because a lot of times, you know, you don't want to go ahead and really say what you think about someone else's work because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, guess what? It's not personal. Okay. The evaluations that you get are designed to help you do better at what you're doing. But you have to learn how to go ahead and present your evaluations properly. Okay. So that's part of the management aspect of what we do. Who here is interested in just being a worker? Raise your hand. Nobody? Who here wants to be management? Raise your hand. Okay. Who here wants to be leadership? Raise your hand. And by the way, you can do both. You can be management and leadership. Okay. So good. That's what we're looking for. Okay. And that said, there'll be opportunity for some of you who are interested to actually be involved in, sometimes if you're interested in the business side of what we do. Even though we're a nonprofit, we create business systems to help solve global social issues. So we have projects that we team up with other institutions and other organizations to help with financial aspects for those companies. You can go ahead and say, I'm interested in the business side as well. And there'll be opportunities based on your success, if you're in that area, to actually earn income. And you can do this right through the program. So those of you who want to do that, you can let me know later on. And in terms of who you're going to be working with, you're always going to be working with me as your mentor. You may be working with other people in the organization, but I'm the one who does the evaluation and the coaching for the most part. Okay? Because I know your industries. And I'm the one who's really critical. So good luck. No. Sorry. Okay. Come on, that was a joke. Nobody thought that was funny? Okay. Tough crowd, Friday afternoon. Okay. So got to have one more question. We got 4 more minutes. Right? One question should give me about 3.5 minutes to answer. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got a question.
Absolutely, Josh. Go for it.
So before, I also, when I looked on the website before, and also when I was talking to one of the representatives, they mentioned courses and programs. Can you give a little more information on the courses, especially?
Sure. We develop courses, just like the 8 foundation skills. We're turning that into a career track program that's going to be available for not only interns, but for companies as well as employees of other organizations, where they can get certified in those 8 foundation skills. We're also working with an educator on making the programs accredited so that they can be available through universities through a full semester in each class. So we develop courses in different areas. At the beginning of Serum, there's 4 different courses that we, these are workshops, so they're actually not the courses, but they correspond to what the courses are going to be. So there's a course in civility and ethics, a course in social responsibility, a course in volunteerism, and a course in global citizenship. That's all under our One Planet, One People program. In financial literacy, we have 6 different courses that go into financial literacy, okay, which is economics and financial and, money management. That's our Money Matters Mastery course. So we develop courses in different things.
Yeah, that answers it.
Okay, good.
That's good.
So in terms of what aspect are you interested in with the course development?
Well, what you just said, the financials one got me interested, but I am more of a trying to be more of a computer and technological aspect.
Sure. So the thing is that how we marry both of those together in your internship, okay, would be that we have a website based on a book that I wrote. It's called The Working Dead.us, right? Because some of us are going to turn out to be the working dead, whether we like it or not, because that's how, right, the business world is structured, not only in this country, but in other countries. Okay, we're workers. Companies need workers. Okay, so the thing is that being a worker ordinarily won't get you to where you need to be financially for yourself and your family, right, and future generations. So people don't learn because it's not taught how money really works in this country and abroad. So the thing is that we get master's students who majored in economics, finance, and business. All they've learned is the Wall Street way about how money works. Who here thinks Wall Street works for us, the middle class? Raise your hand. Nobody? You're right. Wall Street works for Wall Street. Isn't that a surprise? Okay, so the thing is that what we do is we teach financial literacy differently than it's currently being taught in schools and from other NGOs, because we teach concepts about how money really works. And we also go ahead and have plans that people can do in order to go ahead and build for their future. And we use the same tax code that the rich wrote and set up for themselves as a basis and a foundation for this. And we partner with multi-billion-dollar companies to make these programs available to everyone, not just the rich. But if you go to that company yourself, they're not going to give you the program, because 99% of the people in the company, 99.9, don't even know about it, because they don't get that program themselves, because the companies don't make the money on the middle class doing those programs. They make the money on the wealthy doing those programs. And the wealthy gets a lot more benefits from doing it. So it's a complex field, right? But you might be working on an app that's designed to go ahead and introduce and simplify some of the things for that, or a website where the courses, right, are going to be made available through video modules, right, to people around the country and internationally. Okay, so it combines both your interest in the financial aspect. Matter of fact, I just did my continuing education last weekend as a financial advisor, right? Because that's what I went ahead and I learned in order to write the book, in order to write the program. Okay. Okay. So I hope that gives you sort of like a real world tie-in, right? To what your interests are, Josh. But the thing is, that's what I do for all of you based upon your backgrounds. You tell me what you're interested in, you tell me what your field is, and then I'll apply it to, right, the programs that we have, and you'll work in that area, but we'll add in a few more as well so that you get to do project and time management and broaden your interests and skills. Okay. Everybody good? Okay, now let me just give you one clarification. Everyone who comes in and has done this orientation and then follows up and contacts us and says, yes, I'm interested, is going to be accepted into the program moving forward. Okay, so the thing is that we're not going to go ahead and exclude people because of limited space and everything else. Okay, if you show that you've got the desire, the determination, you're willing to learn, and you're going to take action on it, we're going to go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt, accept you into the program, and then work like hell to do our part for you. Okay, so go get the app, right? Sign up through the app, contact us through the app, and then we'll tell you what the next steps are going to be. And feel free to share. And if you know, with other people that you might know that might be interested. Okay, these are big things that we're doing. We're going to go ahead and show you how you can have a major impact, not only on your own life and your own career, but also other people as well, regardless of what field you're in. Okay, because most of you don't think that you can have that impact. Well, we're going to change your mindset. All right, and you're going to see who we play with. we play with some very, very, very influential, tremendous people in terms of our collaborations. Okay. So you'll get to do that too, to a certain extent. All right, I'm done. You all good? Okay. Expect to hear from all of you. All right. Have a good weekend. Right. Contact us over the weekend. All right. Let us know also if you know, how many hours you want to volunteer before you start. And then we'll go ahead and get you going. All right. And look forward to talking to you each individually. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Right.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Stay safe out there.
You too.
Check out our COVID-19 safety app. Okay. Bye-bye.